of class-based component, and there was a small thing which is remaining. After that, we're going to start with the hooks, which is the latest and the greatest way to do React. That is the only way in which we should do React nowadays. Okay, any startup which is just starting, they are going to build a product with React hooks only. Okay, so let's get started, and let me share my screen because we have a lot to cover, and I want to cover everything by tomorrow. Okay, so this is there, and this was what we have created previous day, and this parent component and all. Okay, so that was there. Now what we need to do, we need to do the last topic, and which is the most important topic in any programming language also for a front-end development, which is the API call. So API call is the most important things we need to do. So for the API call, what we will do first, we will again see, again we are going to hit that same JSON endpoint, same this endpoint we are going to hit. So that is there, always we hit mostly this endpoint only. This is the most popular endpoint to hit. Okay, so let me close all these things. Okay, and I think I have given this GitHub already. So finally, I think I can remove. There are a lot of imports on here. We'll comment this out also. Comment this out also. Save it. Now I'll create a new file known as post list.js. Postlist.js. It will be definitely a class based because we're still not done with classes. It will class based. Okay, so export default post list is there. Then export default post list is there. Now let us hit this API endpoint and see this API endpoint is getting post. So we have a state of post. So this is how we should mimic how it is getting, and it should be an array because we're getting an array back. So how to do this API calls in a class-based component? Okay, so we have to do this. First thing is that in the constructor, I'll have a state of posts. I'll have a state of posts. Okay, post state will be there, which will be like this, and then like this. Then as when I was teaching that your lifecycle methods, I told that we do API call through component did amount. So we're going to do it with that. So let me do one h1 here, and let me do a list of posts. It's a post I'm going to do, and then I'll come here and I'll have a component did mount. Okay, and one more thing is there. See, I'm going to use the fetch API. Okay, so there is another way also to do it, which is through the Axios. We can do it through Axios also. The Axios part we'll learn in hook. Here also we can do, but I will show the Axios part there. Okay, and in fetch API also there are two ways to do. One is through async await, and one is through try and then and catch block, then and catch. So even in Axios there are two ways: async await and then and catch. So there are total four ways in React to do it. Okay, one is through Axios, then and catch, Axios, async await, fetch, then and catch, and fetch, async await. But fetch goes very well with async await. Okay, I'll show how it goes very well with async await. So see, it is already showing me then and catch, but I will not do then and catch here. So const URL equal to this post URL I'll do, and then okay, this fetch API I have already taught. Fetch API actually do two times await thing. Okay, so to do two time await thing, so const res equal to await fetch URL, okay, and const post equal to await. Okay, and one more thing, I have done it await, so I have to make this as a sync. I have to make this as a sync. Okay, so that is done, and now I can just get the post. Okay, console.log of posts instead. Save it. I'll come here. Okay, it will not be shown because I don't even have imported it. Post list. Okay, like this I'll do, and post list is there. So I will right click, inspect, console, and see it is giving me this tag di. What is this tag di? Where is this tag di? I don't know from where it is coming. Oh. But I didn't have that thing. Yeah, so I'm getting it as an array of object. I'm getting all of this. That is some old app. So I'm getting this. Okay, so now I just have to see. The main thing is getting the data, and I have shown, told this earlier also in JavaScript also we do it like this also only. Okay, the main thing is that here I'm doing it in component did mount, because component did mount runs after the render is done. So that is the perfect way to do the API call, and we always do in component did mount only in React, no other ways. And async of it I have to use, so I can make the component did mount as async. So that is a very important thing. Now we have to get the data. So console log is okay, but we have to get the data. How we will get the data? So getting the data is very easy. So what we have to do, this this dot set state, like this. Posts is post. This post is this post, and this post is actually this post which is coming. Okay, and so this is how it is done. So when we have something like this, I have told this in ES6 also, and I'm going to use it. And people say, okay, don't use it. It is very complicated. It doesn't. It makes it very complicated. No, but you should know this thing. This thing I have already taught in ES6, and this thing you should know. This shortcut you should know. So that means the post is again the post. So I'll save it, and it is set in the post. And whenever the set state is done, that is re-rendered. Now I can show it. How I'll show it? Okay, I will show it inside this, and I'll do post dot length. Okay, why I'm doing this post dot length? Because I need to check that whether the API call has been, an API call generally take 1 or 2 seconds. So what will happen in that 1 or 2 second? This will give me error. Sometimes it gives, nowadays I have seen it doesn't give error, but then also we should check post.length. Post.length originally will be 0, and 0 is known as false in JavaScript. Okay, so that is there. And then post. Okay, one more thing, there is an error here. So this is not post, this dot state dot post. So it's better we destructure it here. Post is this dot state. Okay, so then post dot map. So map is the most important thing in React.js. Okay, so map I have to do, and post I will do anything I can do. And then maybe h3 h3 I'll do h3. And anything I will show. So I will say post dot title I'll do, and in this h3 I have to give a key. Okay, so I have to give a key equal to post dot id, because we have an id also here. Post dot id also is there, so I'll do it. It is giving me error. It is giving me because, oh, it is giving me error because it should be inside a fragment. Save it. Now I'm getting all the posts. This is how we do API calls. So this is the most important code in React.js. So because the backend developer will give you API call. And one of my student, he got job only because of this code. Only because of this code. He was already working as an HTML CSS developer in his company, and he wanted to become a React.js and JavaScript developer. So he only knew this code, means he knew this code very well, and only because of this code, because they wanted to do that API call thing, and he got the job. Okay, so this is the most important part of the code. Okay, so that is there. So now we are going to see one more thing. Okay, so this is actually the get API. Get API means we are getting the call, but we need to know the post API also. Post API is something which generally most people don't show. So what is this post API? Post API is suppose some form is there, we enter something in there and we can submit it. But we are not going to build a very big backend and all those things. Maybe I'm going to do next week. I am going to take, which is decided. This is the Postgres SQL I'm going to take next week. Okay, so in that I'm going to do a app also, and that app will be like it will be a very nice app. Okay, so that is there. So now what we need to do here, now we are going to see how to do the post API. Post means submit something to the thing. And the good thing is that this JSON placeholder have a posting also, have a post API also. We can post in the same path, same thing. We can post, and it will I will show how to do that. But the main thing is that we'll learn how to do the post API, how to send data through the post endpoint. Okay, I have very good Mun courses also. You can go through my channel. Very good Mun courses are there. Okay, so for that, first thing is that whenever we post something, we need a form. Okay, post form dot js I'll do, and then here I'll do RCC, yeah, and then this export default post form is there. Then here, actually we have to submit in this way only, and we can submit only one thing. So we have to submit the user ID, we have to submit the title, we have to submit the body. See, ID is something which is automatically taken. It is incrementing. It is incrementing. And one thing to notice is that there are 100 IDs. Okay, 100 IDs. And if you insert in this, you'll see that I will insert it on 101. So that is there. Okay, then I will do a R const. I'll do, and here I'll do user ID is like empty string. Then title is like empty string, and body is like empty string. Okay, so this is there, and then yeah, and this render is there. Now let us destructure it here only, the state thing. So const, so I'm destructuring it. Now I need a form, so let us create the form like this, and div label user ID is okay. I will have this label. Okay, and I'm going to show one thing here. Okay. For that I will, there's a very good trick which I'm going to show. Okay, input type is text. Okay. For this I need to open this demo form, actually make it a bit small, because we are good doing the post API, but I want to show a shortcut. Means this is how we create a form and all those things. Okay, this is handle email change, handle comment change. So one thing you should notice here, that every time I'm doing a on change, I'm calling a different function, but it is almost doing the same thing. So if I have 100 of inputs here, I have to do this in 100 of times. We can save that code in a way. Okay, so I'm going to show how we can save. See, this input type text is okay, input type text is there, and then I'll have a name. Now you'll ask me why name, when I have told that name is not important in React. Name is important in JavaScript, but name is not important here. We're doing it for a reason. The reason you'll see. Okay, and the value is equal to, of course, value is equal to user ID. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me open this on the side, because it will be very much clear what I'm doing. Okay, so value is equal to user ID. So that is done. Now user ID is there. This will be title, and this will be title, and the last one will be body. It will be body and body and body will be there. Okay, so that is there. But the main thing here is that, see, if you come down here, handle submit will be there. Okay, so let me copy this also. On submit is this dot handle submit, so that is okay. On submit is this dot handle submit. But what is this on change? Every time it was different also here. So what I'm going to do here, so the thing which I'm going to do here is on change equal to this dot handle change. On change is equal to this dot handle change. On change is equal to this dot handle change. So all of this have the same thing. But here I was having something different every time. But here everyone is having the same thing. Then I'll have a button of submit, which is of type equal to submit. Type equal to submit is there. Okay, so that is there, and then instead of having this three times and every time this, first let us see how I am going to make it from with this handle change. So handle change equal to e this dot set state like this. Now see the magic. This is the magic. E.target.name, because E.target. This thing is dynamic fields which we have already learned in ES6. See what will happen now when I will write something here. Write something here. So this on change will fire to the handle change. Handle change. Suppose I write in the user ID. The on change will fire to the handle change, and E.target.name is what? E.target.name is user ID. So it will make like this user ID, and just like this user ID is your e.target.value. Anyways, e.target.value is there. So like this, it will change to user ID. So then I will type in the title. Title is e.target.value. Body is e.target.value. So basically, we are saving so many lines of code. Not only one or two. If there were hundreds lines of code, we have to do this 100 times, 100 input types. But here I have to do it only once. So this is the benefit of means those things. I have told that this is very important. Okay, so that is done. So let me now anyways close it. I don't need it, and let me make it a bit smaller. Why it is not getting small? Okay, okay. So yeah, so this is done. But now the main thing is that on submit will have the main thing. So we'll do the API call. We'll do the post request. Okay, let us do the handle submit now. So okay, so one more thing I have to do like this. Let me have this post form now here. Post post form I'm going to have post list I'm going to do. So the post form I'm having. Okay, so that is done. So now it's time to make the handle submit. So let us make the handle submit now. So handle submit equal to async e. Why I'm doing async e? Because I'm going to use await inside it. Okay, so one thing is to be noticed is that fetch API is not that much easy. Okay, fetch API is with fetch API the post have got a lot of boilerplate code. Okay, I'm going to tell about that. Okay, e dot event default I'll do, then const url equal to, actually the URL is the same URL, the post URL is only there. Then I have to do a setting. So this is not get API, so you have to do the const settings equal to like this. Method I have to write post, and then headers I have to give the headers I have to give accept content type application JSON, because that is how the data has been sent. And I have to also do accept is application JSON. Accept is application JSON. After this, I will have this header return. Then I'll have the body. Okay, body is JSON.stringify this dot state, and then this setting will be completed. Then this setting will be completed. Then after that, I will do this same thing. Okay, do this thing. I think I have one bracket less. One here. One here. One here. Where is one less or one more? One more is there, I think. Yeah, one was more actually. So this is here. Sometimes these brackets are like okay, okay. So after this body.json and all is done, then after this, see this setting is done over here. Now I'm come here and okay, actually I copied the wrong thing. I don't know what I copied. So this is what we done. So fetch API URL. But the thing is that URL will not be allowed. URL will go this setting. So settings will go. And this JSON dot stringify this dot state will contain whatever the user types there. Okay. So it will contains that, and this is how it will post. Okay. And this is the code. And when we post something, we don't need to change the state or something like that. So I'll save it, and then I'll go here and I have to open the inspect. I have to go to the console, and here user id. So what is the user id? Is any number I can give. Like, it is not necessary that uh, react js, this is react js basic for you. Then I'll submit it, and then it is not submitting, but it didn't submit it. Okay. Oh, it didn't submit it because the spelling mistake was the e dot prevent default. Okay. Again, 23 react js submitted. Yeah. After around 1 second, it came and see user ID 23. See the ID here. ID is 101. ID is 101. So it saved it at the 101 place. So this is how this post API works. Okay. And we have the then the post API. Okay. And this is a very important stuff. This is a really important stuff. So we're done with this. So we're done with the class based thing. Now we're going to learn the hook based approach. Okay, for that I need to create a new project. Actually, I didn't create a new project, and so create a new project. I will do a cd dot and ex create react app, and let me name it hooks. Yeah, so it will do done in 1 or 2 minutes. So let me tell a bit of thing why hooks were introduced. Hooks were introduced because this keyword is still a pain in class-based component. The other thing was that classes were causing some problem in React. It was not minifying well, so it was actually making React a bit slow. A bit slow means like nanoseconds slow, and for React it's a very big thing. And there was some complicated logic in class-based thing, which we have not seen because we are going to concentrate most on functional approach. What is known as HOC, higher order component? Although we are going to we have that higher order component in Redux, which I am not again going to teach here because Redux is a different series which I have. So those things were there. Then render process was a complicated one. Render process we have seen when we are seeing that context thing. So render process was that thing. Okay. So and you'll see hooks is very important, very easy. Okay, and you'll love it. People don't want to come back. So hooks cd hooks, and this is the latest and the greatest. Every company is moving toward hooks. Even the library like Redux and React Router are moving toward hooks. Okay, cd hooks I'm going to do, and I'm going to do a code, and it is done, and then npm start and do. Okay, we got our famous React logo. Okay, and I will teach hooks in a very good way. I will teach hooks with first doing a class-based thing. Okay, class-based thing, and then we have to convert it into hooks. Okay, so let us do that. Do in that way. And one thing to tell is that there are two more most important hooks. One is use state hook. One is use effect hook. Rest of the hooks are like not that much important. These are the main hooks because there were two problems or two things limitations of a functional component. They were not having state is implemented with use state hook. They are not having lifecycle method. Lifecycle method is implemented with use effect hook. So that is like that. The Sassi will come and do a components, and then uh, class counter .js and do, and then see, as I'm told, I'm going to do a class based component first, and then we're going to change to hook based component. That's how we're going to learn in a better way. Class counter will be a normal class counter RCC. I have done export default class counter, then I'll come here, then our const I'm going to do, and then here count is going to be 0, then this I'll do, and then okay. So So let us have this count variable, and then okay, where is my app.js? The app.js. Did I saved it? I think I saved it. Class counter. Like this I'll do. Okay, so class counter is done. Save it. Why it is showing like this? All this. Okay, class counter has been shown. So now what to do? Now we'll have a count and we'll increment it. Okay, maybe we will increment in the button itself. I'll have a button and button will have a count. Count will be this dot state dot count. Save it. So it will be like a this count will be like this, and then I'll have on click. So this is the thing which you all have learned earlier also. So let me do one thing. Let me make it a bit like this. Now we have to change this count. So we'll have a on click handler. On click handler we'll have, and then we'll have a this dot increment count, any function. Okay, no, let us not have a function, let us do it here itself. Okay, so instead of creating a function, what I'm going to do like this dot set state count is this dot state dot count plus one. Count is this state dot count plus one. Save it. And if I click it, it will increase. It will increase. Obviously, it will increase, and it is how it works. So because this is the set state and then this is re-render and how it works. Okay, so this is the state concept. So now we are going to do the same thing with hooks. Okay, hooks we are going to do, and I will create a hook counter dot JS. It's better to have it side by side. Okay. So first thing, it's a RAFCE functional component, a very old functional component. Then the next thing is that I will have state concept is a bit different in hooks. We have hooks for everything. Hooks are what? Hooks are a special program written by the React team. Okay, so we have something known as a use state hook, and how it is used? It is used like this: count set count equal to use state and 0. See what I have just done. Use state is imported from React. Okay, count and set count. See, count and set count, and this I'm what I'm doing. This is a array destructuring. As I've told in ES6 also, array destructuring have become very important because of this concept. Okay, so that is there. So count is like what will happen at this juncture. Count will be equal to 0. Count will be equal to 0 like this. Count is equal to 0. And what is the set count actually? Set count is actually nothing but the set state. But in React, I mean classes component, what used to happen, set state is like common for everything. If I have 10 state variables to update, I will use the set state. Okay, but here I have a set count. This is not it is not like that you have to write it as set count only, but this is how the industry standard is. Whatever is the name of this thing, you'll name it like this. So what will happen if I have another state variables here? Here I know what will happen. I have a name, and like this empty string I will have, and then I will have a again a set state and all those things, blah blah blah. So I will have this here. I will have a name and set name, and this is like this. Okay, so this will be like this in a hook based thing. Okay, so let me take this back because I don't want it. Let me take this back because I don't want it. So let us do the another set state thing. Set state thing. How to do how to complete this project? How to complete this hooks thing? Okay, so let us do that. Come here. Button I'll have, and in this button I'll have a hook count is like count, and on click equal to set count and count plus one, only this much, count plus one, because there is no this dot state and all those things are there. And one more thing to notice here is that, see, and count if there is no this dot state, or you can directly use it. Okay, this dot state is actually an object. This state is actually an object, but this is not an object. This is like this, having like, if you have it like here, I'm just having a count variable which is equal to 0, but there is no this dot state and all this. So that is one of the reason that this dot set state is always updating an object, and this is directly updating it. No object or something is there, it is directly updating, and this here you will have an object. So this is how both of the things, same things are here. Okay, so now, okay, we will, what we are going to do here, I'll have this hook counter also, counter, okay, hook count is there, save it. See, hook count is there, and definitely it is different, and this is how it is working fine. This is how it is working. So this is about the state. Okay, this is about the use state, but again there are a lot of use state use cases. Okay, so let us see those use cases now. Okay, so okay, so let us do another hook counter 2.js. I'm going to have a counter 2.js, then RAFCE I'm going to have, then const initial state equal to 0, const count comma set count. We need to have this set count equal to use state, initial state I am going to take, and then this use state I'm going to have it here anyways. Okay, so now what I'm going to have, let us have a, like, remove this, then run count is count like this, and button is reset. I'll have 3 buttons actually, reset, and on click equal to set count is initial why it is initial state. Shit. It is not a good name. Initial count, it should not initial state. So this one will be increment, this one will be decrement, and this one will be count plus 1, this one will be count minus 1, and let me save it. This hook counter now here. So counter is like this, and I will increment the count, it will increment, decrement the count, decrement, and reset will reset it. So that is but obvious. Now what we are going to do, we are again going to see that issue which we have seen in your class-based component also, when we are going to increment one thing at a quite rapid pace. We are going to increment a state at a very rapid pace. So let us do that, and we are going, obviously we're going to have some issues, and we will use the previous state. Okay, I hope you all remember that thing. So I will come here, and button is increment 5, button is increment 5, on tick equal to increment 5, and then const increment 5 like this. Then let us have a for loop this time. Okay, for loop I will have, and it's giving me the solution actually. So let us first see the count lesson. So I'm having a for loop here now, and for loop will do this set count 5 times, and obviously it will not work because it will not work. See, and it will only increase it to it once, because when React see a lot of sets at a very quick succession, it does this performance optimization and do it only once. We know this thing, and we are going to solve this with this previous state, as you already seen. This auto completer will show was showing it. If EATE previous state plus 1, save it. Now and increment it. So it is incrementing by 5. Incrementing by 5. And one thing is there, not a hard and fast rule. If you are using previous state in the file, you should always use the previous state everywhere else also. So instead of this count, what I'm going to do, I'm going to have this previous state here, previous state like this, previous state, and here like the previous state -1, and you save it. And then anyways it will work like same, it will work like same, it will work like same. So this is how it will work. Okay, so that is there, and it is small thing. Okay, so now actually there are some issues because of the discount is like it can have anything, and there was a benefit when we are using this used this dot state as an object. Okay, I'll show that thing first. Let us do again another file we are going to do, and this will be like okay, counter 3.js, so counter 3.js, then RAFCE is there, then const. Now we'll see what is the issue when we have this use state as an object. Okay, that is very important. Set name equal to use state like this, and then first name and last name I'll have. Okay, then I'll come here and have a form here. In this form, okay, I forgot to do one thing, or else it will give me error. This use state have to be imported. So this is something which everyone forgets that this thing or input type text, and value is equal to name dot first name, and on change is equal to e and set name first name is e dot target dot value, e dot target dot value, last name, then h2 is first name is name dot first name, last name is name dot last name. Okay, so both of these things are done. Let me save it. Counter 3, counter 3, counter 3, save it. and see first name and last name is there. Okay, let us type it and see whether it is working or not. So I'll do Nabindu is running, and the moment I write Biswas, then Nabindu is gone. The moment I write something here, this thing is gone. Why this is happening? So let us look more closely to it. Okay, and one thing is that this is a very cool trick. If you want to do some console.log inside the return, you cannot do it. So the best way to do it is the json.stringify, so that you can see it on this screen itself. So that is what we're going to do, because I want to see the whole object. See, this is an object I'm taking. Initial thing is an object. It's an object. Okay, so I want to see the whole object. So name is this whole object. Okay, so I will have is h2 is json dot stringify, and I will have a name, json dot stringify, and name is there. Save it. Okay, so it is like this. Let me save it. Now I'll write a bindu. It's coming this one. See, the problem is that here is that first name itself is going away. So why this is happening? Why this is happening? And if you do the same thing in a class based component, it will not happen, because the thing is that in a class based component, so this is a class based component, this dot state is an object. This dot state is an object. By default it's an object. Here it is not always an object. See, I can make this name as object also, I can make this as a number also, I can make it as a string also, anything I can make it. So this is the problem, because it have an object, so it does the automatically merging here, automatically updation and the merging. But here the automatic merging is not there, you have to do the manual merging. So when I'm typing something in the first name, the last name, it is not having the last name. So what I have to do, I have to use the spread operator now. So very easy way to solve it is dot 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 name. So I'll do this dot 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 name here, and I'll do a dot 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 name here, dot 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 name here, and dot 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 name here. I'll do. So what will happen is with this dot 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 name here, so when I'm typing the first name, the last name will be spreaded. Like whatever is the last name, it will be spreaded. When I'm writing the last name, the first name will be spreaded. So let us now see what will happen. Okay, I have not saved it. Sorry. See this, I have not saved it. So I'll write again two. See, last name is still there. Last name is still there. It's was. So it is there. This is how it is solved. This is how it is solved, and spread operator is very much important. So that is there. Now, the next thing which we are going to learn is the use state with array. Again, in the array, if you're going to do, we have the same thing there also. Okay, so let us do that. And there I will not show all this, I'll not do all this drama and all these things. I'll just show that okay, there also we use a spread operator. It is required, spread operator, because React doesn't, because hooks doesn't just automatically merging and updating. And array also we have this spread operators and all. Okay, so let us do that, and I will create a new file as hook counter 4.js, counter 4.js, and then RAFCE. Okay. Then const items, comma, set items equal to use state of empty array. So this is very important. Empty array is there, and this use state also I have to import it. So imported it, and then I will have a button. I'll have a button. Okay, and it will be add a number. It will be add a number, and here I'll have a on click equal to add item. We'll have, and then after this I will have a ul unknown. Okay, this I will have later on. Okay, so this on click will call a function add item. So let us create that. Const add items equal to, I guess, set items, like this, and I will have to have this. So what I'm having here, Okay, so I need to add in this array. So an object I'm going to add in this array. I'm going to add the object. So dot 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 items, whatever is there earlier, I will do that, and then I will add a id. I'll do a trick here. ID is items, not length, and value is mat.flow. Any random thing I'm taking. Okay, that is there. And I want to show one thing first. I want to show console.log of items. I'm going to show. Okay, so this value is hook 4 is done. Save it. Open it. Console. Add a number. See, add a number. What is happening with add a number? See, I know this error. Why this error is coming? Okay, let it be there. Okay, so when I'm doing add a number, this id is items dot length. What is the items dot length now? Items dot length is 0. So 0 is added, and value is a random value as I have told. Then again I'll add a number. I wanted a unique ID. Unique ID is always required because when we are going to loop through it using the map, we need this unique ID. That is very much important. Okay, so that is it. See the second one now, because items of length was already one, and this dot 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 items is very much important because the earlier one will be taken in that way. Okay, so then this dot 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 item is taken, and then id is like 1 now. Id is like 1 now, and value again, I think the random is like bit weird. Why it is taking like 6? Okay, again I'll do this, add a number, and I'll come. Oh, it is always taking. Why it is taking always taking? Mad dot random. I'll not have a floor then. Let us have a good number. Yeah, so it is much better. Now it's too random. Oh, so now this is how it will work. Every time the items or length will increase by 1. So now our data is coming. But just we need to show it. So in the UL, I'll have a inside a UL, I'll have a items.map. Items.map I'll have, and then I'll have a li. Li I will have, and here I'll have a item dot value, and here I'll have a e equal to item dot id, equal to item dot id. Okay, that will be there. Save it. Already these two numbers, so that's it was coming. So add a number, it will add a new number. So this is how it will work. Okay, and this is working fine. So this is how the use state with array works. Use state with array is like this. Okay, so we are done with this. Then now the next thing, we should do it because we don't have time actually. I would have stopped here. Okay, so but we should do it, and maybe I will give the attendance form also, but we are going to start with the use effect hook. Okay, mark your attendance, yeah, market attendance here. So that is there. So we are going to learn the second most important. Sometimes it is the most important hooks also. The use effect hook. The use effect hooks is used. Why? Use effect hook is used to replace the lifecycle method. And the thing is that only one hook replaces all three important lifecycle methods. See, React team has found out that people use only three lifecycle methods. One is component did mount, one is component did update, one is component will unmount. So they have added only these three things. When I was teaching lifecycle method, I told that should component update and so that props and all those things. They're not used that much. I have, in fact, in my career, I have never used that. So we'll do that. Okay. So the thing is that for that, again, let us have a understand with through the class based approach. Okay. So I'll come here and I'll have a class found CEO. document counter one.js, and here are a fce. Actually, this will have a lot of things like this only, so let's copy it from here. Here, copy it from here. Why it is giving this? Oh, sorry. It is RCC. It is RCC. So that is the reason it is. It was giving the error. This was RCC. Okay, my bad. Okay, I was creating this class-based thing. Okay, so that was my problem. Export default is I'm going to do. Export default and class counter one I will do, and this button and all this will done. Button and all this will be done. Okay, so that is done, and now what will happen? This class counter one is there, and class counter one I'll show. Okay, so I'll have this thing and this will work like magic. Okay, so not magic, and this is how it works. But the thing is that now what I want to do, I want to have this React app show the this count. Yeah, I want this weird kind of thing to happen. I want this React app to show the count. So how I will going to do it? So that count I need to show after this thing is rendered. So that is one of the reason I have to use the lifecycle methods here. So this is a real case use case of lifecycle method. I'll use a component did mount. I will do a component did mount, and then I'll have a document dot title. Document dot title is like okay. Instead of count, count I will show. Okay, count is this sort of state dot count I will do. Okay, so then I will do a save. See, the count is coming there. Count is coming. Nice count is showing. Okay, component did not happen. But I'll click enter here. One will come, two will come, three will come. This is not getting updated. Why count is not getting updated? If you have learned what I'm told in the lifecycle methods, the component did not only run during the initial render. It doesn't run during the subsequent render. Subsequent render means when we change the state and all, it doesn't run. So how to solve this issue? And this is a real use case scenario of component did update. So you have to use component did update in this scenario. Okay, will have same thing like document or title, save it. So what will happen the first time when, okay, so I have not touched anything. So this is the mounting phase. Now this is the updating phase. Updating phase will run through component did update. This is how it will run, and it will show like this. So this is about a class based thing. So now what we are going to do, we are going to do through the hook based thing. Okay, so we are going to do through the hook based thing, and then the counter hook counter one.js. So counter one.js I'm going to do, and again I'm going to make it like the hook counter only. Hook counter only I'm going to make, and fce I'm going to do, and this I'm going to do, and this again I'm going to do, and this will come like this, and count. Yeah, count is okay. Save it, and then I will have a hook counter. The use state is not defined. Okay, so hook count is increasing, hook count is increasing, and now again we want to do the same thing, which is like the updating the this thing, updating the, okay. You know why it was showing, it was getting it from the old thing. Okay, hook count is doing, but this react type is not working. Okay, so how to do this thing? Okay, so let me also again make it a bit big, and this component did mount and all. How to have these two lifecycle methods here? We don't have any lifecycle method in hooks. We have a special hook known as use effect hook, which actually in different configuration. We're not going to complete use effect hook today because there are a lot of things there. It has got different configuration, and one of the configuration will be like will be running in a component did mount and a component did update. In fact, the basic configuration will run in that way. So use effect hook we are going to use, and we're going to call a use effect. I'm going to do that. Use effect will also be imported, and then I will have this like this, and then I'll have a document dot title and count, and Maybe it should be hook count, not count. Count. And I will save it. This hook count you are seeing, it is increasing fine. So what is this hook count actually? So this hook count is actually the replacement of component did mount and component did update, both of them. So it will run. So there are different ways, different modes to do it, and we're going to see the different modes. You're going to see that I am going to change something here, some parameter I'm going to pass, and it will run in a different way. But in this basic way, it will run as a component did mount plus component did update. Both of those things are the component did mount plus component did update. So means that it will run during the mounting phase. Again, those phases are also there. Mounting phase when we're not touching it, and it will run during the updating phase also. So this is the this. So people say we don't have to learn class based component, but if you don't learn class based component, how you are going to learn use effect? If I'm going to say, okay, it is a component did mount and component did update way, what does that mean? Later on we're going to see this is a this is like component did mount. So what is component did mount if I have not learned class based component? So that is why you need to learn class based component. Okay, so that is there. And I think we have done enough for today, because there is still a lot of things remaining, the use effect and all those things, and I will complete it tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last day, and tomorrow we're going to complete all of these things and all. And hopefully you are learning something, because React.js is a thing which will give you a job. As I always say, I learn React.js, do some projects from my channel, do some big projects from my channel, and you will get a job. Showcase on them on LinkedIn, and you'll get a job. So this is all about. Right? And with this, I'll end today's stream. And thank you all. We'll meet tomorrow, the last day, and we're going to complete this whole base thing.